Congratulations. I absolutely love this. I saw it at TIFF in last fall. My God. Okay, Sarah, I got to start with you because, I think from what I understand, and I know you, for many, many years, brought up in a pretty stable, good home, parents were good, everything,
Yeah.
no craziness going on, living in the woods, having to go to the bathroom in the fields, all that good. How did you find yourself relating? How did you wrap your mind around relating to
I did.
Michelle?
I couldn't. I grew up in I had a very happy and healthy childhood. My mom was a teacher. My dad's a psychologist. I had like a very well-adjusted adolescence. I had a lot of structure in my life as a young person, a lot of consistency. And so when I read this, when Carly sent me the script, I thought like, I don't know I'm not this person. I never play characters like this. I don't know how to do this. And I actually had a lot of resistance, I think, to it because it
It's
was
hard.
scary to me and I thought, could I do this character justice?
Yeah.
And but then, I started to kind of get over that and find my way into the character and start to look really deeply and read Sia's memoir and, understand really where Michelle was coming from.
Right.
And then I had a lot of empathy for her. And
Yeah.
it was very easy to take that on.
Absolutely. I mean, it was the way she was raised. What would she know any different? Correct?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Also the time that she grew up, what it was like, generally for women, for a woman who's uneducated, who's grown up off the grid herself, who had a child when she was 15, who doesn't have the resources or any of the kind of psychological resources to deal with her own trauma. And so I had a lot of compassion for Michelle.
Yeah. Amanda, kudos to you. My God, are you ever good in this film? My goodness. And kind of the same question that I asked Sarah, but in a way, like how important was it for you to read the memoir, maybe spend time with Sia, get her perspective on this and do it justice? You're playing somebody who lived here and who still is alive. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I read the script and I instantly fell in love with the characters and the dynamic between Sia and Michelle. That stuck out to me the most. And when I read the memoir, I cried quite a bit because she goes through a lot. And even reading about Michelle's backstory, which you honestly don't really get to see a ton of before
Yeah.
season, especially in the film.
Mm-hmm.
They went through a lot and it was tough to read, and I had conversations with Sia about it, and the script is a lot less dark than the real experiences that they had. They don't really go into lots of the situations, but I related to her pretty instantly. I mean, I felt kind of in ways like not a priority, or
Yeah.
people want other things from you, or like you don't feel like you're being seen. And I think that that's very much what she experiences.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a hard story, I think, to bring to life because when you think about it, it's like, wow, what she went through was kind of hell and back, I think, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing for somebody to make that change. Sarah, I want to know about your relationship with Amanda and getting to know her and how much time you guys got to spend together to establish this amazing chemistry that you had on screen, but yet there is that friction, right? So, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I told Carly that part of the way that I work and part of the process that I go through as an actor is I really love to sit and read through the scenes of the script in a rehearsal period with the director and the other actors. And I suggested that we kind of do that because it's a really nice way to get to know the person that you're working with, and understand how each person listens and communicates. And so we ended up doing that when we got to North Bay, because we spent a couple of days just reading through the script together,
Mhm.
going through each scene in the rehearsal process. And Amanda and I really got to know each other through work that way. And then, you know, I wanted to make an effort to spend time with Amanda and River also because they're young performers and I was a young performer myself. And
Sure.
I knew that for me, when I was less, you know, formally trained as an actor, I had a lot of, you know, raw talent, and I was working from a place of just intuition. And so it was really important for me as a young person for things to feel real in order to, and for me to feel like safe, in order for me to open up and be vulnerable with people that I was working with. So like knowing that going into the experience, I said to Carly, like, I want to spend a lot of time with Amanda and River because I want them to feel comfortable on set,
Yeah.
you know, because they, you know, like you said, you know, they go through hell and back and they have to, you know, do so much emotional work in the script. And so we spent a lot of time together and we really, you know, became, luckily, it doesn't always happen that way, it just became fast friends and ended up actually kind of living together through the shoot for part of the filming. And I just think Amanda's such a talented, exciting, you know, new performer to be like around. And I felt that way about River too. And it was such a joy to like work with them both and just be around their like raw talent and their presence. And so we had such a positive experience making the film. And you know, Amanda obviously has a lot more experience than River, and when you're working with someone who's even younger, who's like River was 7,
Right.
you're just like, you're like chasing moments and you're like catching moments and you're like, you know, you're working with the director and the DP to just really like capture because they can't always like reproduce or just have the same reaction because they are just so raw. So it's like a different kind of way of working, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Amanda, you know, when you're working on something like this, and I have to wrap it, I want to ask both of you this question. Did it make you, after this shoot, think about your own relationship with your own mom?
Definitely. For sure, through and through. I mean, I was attached to this early on in 2020. We shot in 2021, and I was reading every draft, and I definitely was. I learned a lot, and I took away things, and I learned a lot from Sarah too. We had lots of conversations about, you know, relationships with your parental figures and boundaries and things like that. And I think it's just really a really important thing to explore, you know, like your family is your family, and you know.
Sarah, makes you appreciate them, even though you have a good relationship, but just maybe a tad more makes you appreciate them a little bit more.
I mean, obviously not in the same way, but you know, everyone's parents are people, and they make mistakes and they do things, you know, the way that they were raised, and that's not always what's best for you. And I think that, you know, humanizing Michelle and really, you know, getting behind her as a woman, as a mom, made me, you know, realize that like no parent is really perfect, and
Of course,
everyone is going to pass on, you know, their mistakes, and that's something that's kind of like an unavoidable thing in life.
Yeah, we all learn from our mistakes. That is for sure. We hope. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. Like I said, you both did such a great job in this movie. It's fantastic. So
thank you so much.
Always great to see you, and take care. Have a nice day. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.